They said my 11-year-old daughter vandalized the park walls with graffiti. They humiliated her in front of the entire neighborhood. But when a missing child case rocked our community, those same graffiti sketches became the key to solving it. What the HOA thought was a childish crime turned out to be the work of a silent hero. They branded her a delinquent, but she became a town legend. Let me take you back to where it all started, the moment crayons met justice. The accusation that shook us. We moved into the Sandstone Creek subdivision 6 months ago. The neighborhood seemed perfect, clean lawns, friendly nods, and a sparkling park just around the corner. But under its polished surface, the HOA here was like a nest of snakes, silent, watchful, and ready to strike. My daughter Lily was always the quiet one. 11 years old, small for her age, with big, curious eyes and a sketch pad never far from reach. Art wasn't just her hobby, it was her voice. After losing her mom in a car crash 2 years ago, Lily stopped speaking much, but she drew. Her feelings, her thoughts, her fears, they all came out in color and charcoal. Then one morning, it all changed. I was sipping my coffee when there was a loud knock at the door. 2 men in HOA polos stood outside, grim-faced, holding a clipboard. "Mr. Carter," one said without introducing himself, "we've had reports of vandalism in the community park." "Okay, and?" I replied, confused. He flipped the clipboard around to show printed photos, murals spray-painted onto the park's old cement walls. Animals, faces, a crying child's eyes. Detailed, raw, and hauntingly beautiful. "We believe your daughter is responsible," the second man said sharply. "We have camera footage of her sketching at the park every day after school, and several residents have seen her there alone." I laughed for a second. "Are you calling my daughter a vandal because she likes to draw?" They didn't smile. "This is serious. It violates several HOA statutes. Unless removed within 48 hours, you'll face a $2,000 fine and possible legal notice." I was stunned. Wait, those drawings? That's art, not graffiti. And she doesn't even use spray paint. The first guy shrugged. "Intent doesn't matter. HOA policy is clear." Lily stood behind me in the doorway, trembling. She had heard everything. They left me with a warning letter and a deadline. That night, I asked Lily if she had drawn anything on the walls. She nodded slowly, then showed me her sketch pad. Each of the drawings at the park had been designed on paper first, detailed plans of eyes, faces, and symbols. But something was strange. One image caught my eye. A young boy's face with a blue jacket and a soccer ball. I didn't recognize it, but it looked real, not imagined. "Who's this, sweetheart?" I asked gently. She didn't speak, just shrugged. I didn't push further. She was devastated. Her safe place had been turned into a courtroom. The next morning, I went to the park with a sponge and cleaner. The drawings were faded but powerful. As I scrubbed, neighbors watched from afar, some whispering, some shaking their heads. But something strange happened that evening. There was breaking news. A 7-year-old boy named Ethan Morales had gone missing 2 towns over. The news showed his face, his last known outfit, a blue jacket, and the soccer ball he was carrying when he disappeared from his backyard. My stomach dropped. He looked exactly like Lily's drawing. I rushed home, pulled out her sketch pad again. Same eyes, same jacket, same soccer ball. How? The next day, I took the sketch to the police. At first, they were skeptical, but when I explained that my daughter had drawn this image 2 days before Ethan even went missing, their tone changed. "She doesn't know this boy?" one officer asked. "No, we just moved here." They took the sketch, scanned it, filed a report. The officers came to our house 2 days later, asking if Lily could show them where she had drawn it, where she had seen the boy. Lily was scared but nodded. She took them to the far side of the park near the maintenance trail. There, under a broken fence post, was a muddy patch with a faint shoe print. And nearby, buried under leaves, was Ethan's missing soccer ball. Lily's graffiti wasn't just art. It was a map. The truth behind the sketches. The soccer ball was all the proof the police needed to take Lily's sketch seriously. She whispered, "Okay." That evening, the town hall was packed. Media, parents, school teachers, neighbors all gathered to hear how the case had been solved. The police captain stepped up first, detailing the timeline of events and crediting an anonymous tip from a resident's child. Then he called Lily forward. She walked onto the stage, tiny in her oversized sweater, sketchpad in hand. The moment was silent. Then she flipped open her pad and held up a new drawing, Ethan, smiling, holding hands with his mom. The crowd gasped, then erupted into applause. She looked up and smiled. That was the moment Lily got her voice back. The aftermath was swift. The HOA was flooded with complaints from residents. Why did you threaten her? Why weren't you protecting the park instead of punishing kids? Who gave you the authority to treat a grieving child like a criminal? 3 board members resigned within a week. The HOA president was voted out the following month. Meanwhile, the mayor's office invited Lily to participate in the youth art program. The town park was renamed Hope Creek Park, and a permanent wall was dedicated to Lily's murals, this time with official city approval. Her first public mural? A scene of children playing, with one little boy in a blue jacket watching from a treehouse. One afternoon, as we walked past the mural, Lily asked, "Dad, did I do the right thing?" I stopped, knelt beside her and smiled. "Sweetheart, you didn't just do the right thing. You saved a life. And maybe, just maybe, you saved your own heart a little too." She hugged me tight. For the first time in years, her shoulders felt lighter. Epilogue. A few months later, a letter arrived in the mail. It was from Ethan's family. Inside was a picture of Ethan holding a sign that read, "Thank you, Lily. You gave me back my tomorrows." And beneath it, a small drawing, 2 stick figures holding hands under a tree. Signed, "Your friend forever, Ethan."